You're Sperp back with another video, and I just got out of watching The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Very fucking long title, but it is what it is. Yeah, going into this, before this movie even came out, I was like, do we really need another Hunger Games movie? You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until they put out this first initial trailer that it had me very intrigued, because you have Viola Davis in here, and you got Peter Dinklage, you got some new faces. Rachel Ziegler, I know that's going to turn a lot of people off to this movie just based on things she has said in the press about other movies, but I'm going to leave that to the side because I actually think she did a pretty decent job in this movie. But yeah, like I said, the more I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, so we're going to see the earlier years of the Hunger Games, and you got Viola Davis, Peter Dinklage, a lot of really dope people in this movie. And I was thinking, like, this is going to be like the first Hunger Games. No, this takes place on like the 10th Hunger Games, and things are kind of dying out, and they need some new blood, something new to kind of keep people watching. But this story is all about Snow and how he became that cold-hearted villain that we know in the original movies. And man, this is by far the darkest Hunger Games movie out of the entire franchise. Like, I almost wish that they would have made this rated R to kind of really hit home with the violence, because there's some brutal ass kills in here that kind of get cut away, but also you kind of see what happens at the same time. But like I said, this is all about Snow. I like how the movie starts where we get this kind of title of the Dark Days. I think it's like 3 years after the first Hunger Games, or before. I don't really recall off the top of my head, but anyways, we see a young Snow and a young Tigress, his cousin, and they're kind of, the Snow family is kind of down right now because his father was killed. But this lets you know how kind of dark this movie is going to be, because you had this one guy cutting off this dude's leg because he was pretty much starving, and it's like people have gotten to the point where they have to rely on cannibalism and stuff. It's really crazy. I was not expecting that. But then we fast forward to Snow when he's like 18. He's top of the class of the Capitol, and like I said, they need something new to kind of keep people invested in these games. And Viola Davis, she plays like the game master. She's kind of puts the makes and crafts all the games, while Peter Dinklage is the one that helped create the games as a whole alongside Snow's father. And I want to see that story. That story sounds so fascinating to me, to kind of see just that initial war that broke out that made Panem split everything into districts, and exactly why they do it, and why this movie you really see, how the people of the capital kind of treat the people in the districts, like where it's always been like this classism kind of theme going throughout these different movies. And seeing how Snow actually seems like a good guy, he has good intentions, he's the one that kind of changed the Hunger Games as they know it since then. And like, we got Rachel Ziegler's character, where she is like this singer. She kind of goes around to different districts and stuff, but she got automatically caught up in District 12, and one thing leads to the next, where she is in the Hunger Games, and you really see how barbaric this Hunger Games is compared to the ones that we've known, where in the first 3 movies or 4 movies, it seems very much more organized, still brutal, but not as brutal as this, where the game, instead of it being in multiple areas, it's taking place in just one spot, and it's just a complete free-for-all. It's madness. Like, the kills in this are very brutal, and it really goes to show you how heartless the capital is. They don't really even care. And, you know, them introducing mentors, which wasn't a thing previous years until like Snow made the suggestion that, you know, we should send out like care packages and stuff like that. But what I like about this movie is it really shows you Snow's descent into this villain, you know, where he has good intentions at first, but the more that he gets kind of exposed to the real life and the Hunger Games and what that truly means, or what he thinks it truly means, and what he gets to see after the Hunger Games and all the betrayal. It's essentially still at its core a love story with Snow's character, because he falls for Rachel Zegler's character, Lucy Gray. And you already know, love can make you do some crazy things. And it always goes back to that quote that Snow says, that it's the things that you love the most that destroy you. I'm probably paraphrasing at that point, but now that whole quote just makes complete sense after watching this movie. And also that there was always like a resistance against the Capitol, and, you know, they hit at any moment, you know what I'm saying? I like the depiction of that as well, where there's people in the Capitol trying to help the people of the different districts and stuff as well, on some type of freedom fighting type of thing. But yeah, I just loved everything they did with Snow's character. Viola Davis as like this villain was fucking perfect. She's probably my favorite part next to like Snow's depiction in this. Like, the character that plays the younger Snow, I definitely see that he's going to be in a lot more movies for sure. I just like the tone of this. It feels very dark. You feel like the stakes are high, and you kind of understand why Snow ends up descending into darkness, just because of just everything he sees and experiences, that he just kind of snaps. You know, he just kind of realizes, you know, this is probably just how the world is. And I really like that. I really enjoyed this movie. It's better than I expected to be. I don't know if everybody's going to feel the same way, just because of Rachel Zegler, and, you know, they're probably thinking that she's the main focus, and no, it's all Snow, but she does play a big pivotal role for Snow's character. I will say it's not perfect, you know what I'm saying? There are some flaws with this movie. I'm not the biggest fan of the singing parts, but I understand for the context of the movie and what they're trying to do and go for. Rachel isn't like a terrible singer, but the way she was singing, it was just really weird. I don't know, it was a very bizarre choice for her to kind of take that direction. I don't hate it, I would have kind of scaled that back a bit. But it does play a pivotal role for Snow, because without, you know, Lucy's character, you know, Snow doesn't become the person that he becomes. So yeah, definitely go check this out. If you have seen it, let me know your thoughts of it. I want to see more of the Hunger Games universe, because there's a lot of things like District 13. I want to kind of see more of that. Like, that's still kind of like a mystery. I want to see things before the Hunger Games actually started, you know, the stuff between Peter Dinklage's character and Snow's father. That stuff is all intriguing to me. Maybe they'll do that into a series in the future, who knows? But this has just been my take on this movie, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.